Have you ever suddenly woken up in the stillness of the night with your heart pounding in your chest and the absolute certainty that you weren't alone? A chill that doesn't come from the cold, a shadow moving at the corner of your eye, a heavy feeling in the air as if the very space itself is watching you. You try to convince yourself it was just a dream, but your soul knows the truth. It was real. Maybe your battle isn't as dramatic. Maybe it's more subtle. It's a weariness that no amount of coffee can cure. It's a mental fog that sabotages your clarity and focus day after day. It's that important project that inexplicably goes wrong at the last minute. It's an argument that erupts out of nowhere with someone you love, leaving a trail of confusion and pain. It's the constant feeling of swimming against an invisible tide. A sense that no matter how hard you try, some hidden force is actively working to keep you in the same place. If any of these words describe your reality, understand this: what you're experiencing isn't bad luck, it isn't a coincidence, and it isn't just psychological. You're feeling the side effects of a war being waged against you in the invisible dimensions, a silent war that reaches its peak of activity while the world sleeps. Modern spirituality has romanticized many concepts, but today we're going to tear the veil off one of the most dangerous: the belief that witchcraft is something distant, theatrical, almost folkloric. The truth, which many witches know and exploit, is that the most effective witchcraft doesn't require cauldrons or performative rituals. Its deadliest weapon is silent, invisible, and it travels through dimensions. The name of this weapon is astral projection for the purposes of attack. This is not a video to feed paranoia. Paranoia is the absence of power. This is a video to deliver spiritual intelligence. Fear makes you a victim. Knowledge makes you a warrior. The kingdom of light does not call us to live in fear of the darkness, but to exercise dominion over it with wisdom and authority. On today's journey, you will not only learn, you will be equipped. Your perception of spiritual reality will be recalibrated. You will learn to accurately identify the signs of a nightly invasion, diagnose the gaps in your own defenses, and most crucially, activate a divine security protocol so powerful it will transform your home into an embassy of the kingdom, a sovereign territory where no dark force dares enter without being struck down. It's time for a ceasefire. It's time to take back control of your nights, your peace, your energy, and your destiny. Before we dive into the depths of this knowledge, prepare your spirit to receive, for what is to come is dense and transformative. Leave your like as a prophetic act, a declaration that you are igniting the light of truth in your life. And in the comments, write the name of your city or country. I read each one and feel the strength of this global network of awakened souls we are building. Thank you very much. And stay until the end, because each part builds on the next, and the consolidation of your victory depends on all the keys. Now, let's begin. Part 1. The Night Battlefield. Anatomy of Hostile Astral Projection. To neutralize a weapon, you need to understand its engineering. Astral projection, in the context of witchcraft, is not a playful journey of consciousness. It's a spiritual home invasion. It's an act of deliberate spiritual transgression. The practitioner of the dark arts, driven by envy, control, revenge, or simply on a mission assigned by evil spirits, enters an altered state of consciousness. Through rituals, chanting mantras, pacts, or with the aid of entities that serve them, they project their consciousness, their astral body, out of their physical body. They become an invisible spy, an ethereal thief, and in this state, they travel through dimensions with a specific target in mind: you. In doing so, they become a spiritual criminal, violating divine laws of sovereignty and free will. But why at night? Think of your being as a fortress. During the day, your conscious mind, your logic, your state of alertness function as the guards on the walls. They are vigilant, questioning, analyzing. But at night, these guards sleep. The conscious mind rests. However, the owner of the fortress, your spirit, never sleeps. It stays awake. If the walls are not spiritually fortified, the invader finds a clear path to the inner courtyard. Night is the strategic moment when conscious vigilance is deactivated, allowing attacks that would be easily repelled during the day to find a gap. The decoded signs of an attack. Let's dive deeper into the signs so there's no doubt. Sleep paralysis, the attempted spiritual imprisonment. This is much more than a neurological phenomenon. In the spiritual realm, when you feel that crushing weight, that malignant presence, and the inability to move or scream, you're experiencing an attempt at spiritual imprisonment. The entity or projected witch is trying to suppress your authority, trapping your spirit so it can operate without resistance. The scream that doesn't come out is not just physical, it's your spirit trying to assert its authority but being suffocated. Dreams as Trojan horses. The dream realm is a portal. Astral invaders use it in two ways. The first is through direct attacks, nightmares with snakes, symbols of betrayal, poison and deceit, spiders, witchcraft webs, traps, rabid dogs, spirits of contention, or the feeling of drowning, attempt to silence your prophetic voice. The second and more dangerous is the masquerade. The witch appears in your dream with the face of a loved one, a friend, a partner. She offers you food, an act to seal spiritual pacts, gives you a gift, an object of connection, or says something to plant confusion and distrust. Your spirit may feel something is wrong, but your soul, deceived by the familiarity of the face, may accept the interaction, opening a door. Energy vampirism and chronic exhaustion. Why do you wake up exhausted? Because during the night attack, one of the main goals is the theft of vital energy. Your joy, your creativity, your peace, your willpower are sources of luminous energy. The invader acts like an energy vampire, feeding off your light to strengthen itself and its works, while leaving you drained, apathetic, and powerless to fight for your purpose during the day. The night battle leaves you disadvantaged for the next day's battles. Physical marks. When the veil is pierced. Scratches, bruises, finger marks. When a spiritual attack is of high intensity, it can pierce the veil between the spiritual and physical realms. This means the aggression was so violent that its energy condensed enough to leave a mark on your physical body. Consider this a maximum level alarm. The war has escalated. The awakening at witching hour, 3 to 4 a.m. This is not a random time, it's a spiritual time zone. Between 3 and 4 a.m. is known as a time when the veil between worlds is thinnest, a transitional point where demonic and witchcraft activities peak. Your spirit, sensing the intensification of spiritual pressure in the environment, awakens you as a defense mechanism, a call for your consciousness to join the battle so you can pray and defend yourself. Knowing this takes you out of the confused victim position and puts you in the position of an intelligence analyst. You now know what to look for. The next step is understanding why they can get in. Part 2. The open doors. Auditing your spiritual fortress. Let's establish an irrefutable truth. The spiritual world operates on legality. A demon or witch can't just decide to attack you on a whim and succeed if your fortress is in order. They are like dark lawyers searching for gaps in the law, a legal basis to present their case against you. They need a spiritual warrant of invasion, and tragically, often it's us who unknowingly sign that warrant. Let's audit the doors of your fortress. Be honest with yourself. The door of unforgiveness, the corrosive poison. Holding on to a grudge is like holding a hot coal to throw at someone. The one who gets burned first is you. Spiritually, bitterness and unforgiveness are an acidic substance that corrodes your protective walls. It creates a torment frequency, an energetic signature that screams justice and punishment in the spiritual world. And guess who shows up to be the executor? Tormenting spirits. By refusing to forgive, you chain yourself to the person and the offense, giving the demons who influence them the legal right to torment you too. Forgiveness is not a feeling, It's a legal decision to cancel the debt and close the case, revoking the enemy's access. The door of soul ties, the duplicate keys. The sexual act is the deepest union between two beings, not only physically, but spiritually. It's an exchange of spiritual DNA. When you unite with someone, a part of your soul intertwines with theirs. If that person was involved in occultism, pornography, addictions, or carried spirits of depression and rejection, you've opened a direct portal for those same influences to enter your life. The soul tie works like a duplicate key to your spiritual home. Even if the relationship ended years ago, if the tie wasn't broken prophetically, the key still works. The door of modern idols and consecrated objects. This door is subtle. An idol isn't just a wooden statue. An idol is anything that takes the place of God in your heart. But here we also talk about physical objects, that souvenir you bought on a trip to a country with strong idolatry, that antique with an unknown history, that jewelry that was a gift from someone with a dark spiritual life. Books on esotericism, occultism, or even songs whose lyrics invoke darkness. These items are not neutral. They can act as beacons in the spirit, transmitters that emit a constant signal of your location, or as anchors that give a spirit the right to remain in your environment. The door of fear, the reverse prayer. Fear is faith, but in the negative result. It's a form of meditation focused on what you don't want. Spiritually, fear emits a signal of permission. It tells the universe and spiritual predators, I believe in your power to harm me more than in the power of light to protect me. Fear opens a vacuum in your aura, and just like in physics, nature abhors a vacuum. Something will fill it. If it's not faith and peace, it will be anxiety and the spirits that accompany it. The door of hidden sin, the shadow zone. We all err, but the sin that becomes a legal door is the one that's practiced continually, and most of all, hidden. It's the lie you sustain, the secret addiction, the habit you practice in the darkness. This practice creates a shadow zone in your soul, an area where you deliberately extinguish the light of truth. And it's in that dark and unconfessed territory that the forces of darkness have the legal right to camp, the door of toxic connections, the spiritual transfer. Tell me who you hang out with, and I'll tell you who you are. This is a spiritual law. You can be the purest and most well-intentioned person, but if your inner circle, friends, partners, associates, is involved with darkness, you're in the blast radius. A spiritual transfer occurs. The attacks directed at them can ricochet onto you. Their spiritual atmosphere mixes with yours. That's why auditing your relationships is a matter of spiritual survival. The good news is, every door that has been opened can be closed. Every legal ground that was given can be revoked. And that's what we're going to do now. Part 3, Fortifying the Fortress, the Divine War Protocol and Seal. We've arrived at the practical part, the arsenal. Victory over these attacks doesn't come from a single prayer, but from a change in posture, from a lifestyle of authority and discipline. Execute this protocol not with fear, but with the confidence of a general inspecting and fortifying their territory. Step 1. The Great Cleanse and Consecration of the Territory. This is an act of sovereignty. Walk through your house, especially your bedroom, room by room. Lay your hands on objects and ask your spirit, does this carry the energy of light or darkness? Be relentless. Clothes, gifts, books, decorations, photos. If you feel a no in your spirit, hesitation or heaviness, get rid of the object. Don't donate it so you don't pass the curse on. Destroy it, tear it, break it, or burn it safely. By doing this, you're breaking the spiritual anchor it represented. After the cleanse, perform the consecration. Take olive oil and pray over it, asking it to be sanctified and become a vehicle of the protective power of the Holy Spirit. Then, with your finger dipped in the oil, walk through your house and anoint the door frames of every door and window, especially the entrance and your bedroom door. As you anoint, decree aloud, with the authority of an ambassador of the kingdom. I consecrate this home to the Most High God. I seal every entry, both physical and spiritual, with the blood of Christ and the fire of the Holy Spirit. No entity of darkness, no spirit of witchcraft, no hostile astral projection has permission or authority to cross this line. This is holy ground, a demilitarized zone for the enemy. War angels camp around this place. It is sealed. Step 2. The activation of the Iron Dome of Decreed Word. Your most powerful weapon is words aligned with universal law. The sacred scriptures are not just religious texts, they are legal documents of the kingdom. Before sleeping, open Psalm 91. Stand in the middle of your room and read it aloud, not as if reading a story, but like a judge reading a final ruling. Emphasize each promise. 1,000 may fall at my side and 10,000 at my right hand, but I will not be touched. Only with my eyes will I see and witness the reward of the wicked, because I have made the Lord my refuge, the Most High my dwelling. No evil will befall me, nor will any plague come near my dwelling. Do the same with Psalm 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? In doing this, you're not just praying. You're changing the legal and vibrational composition of the atmosphere in your room. You're serving a restraining order against the forces of darkness. Step 3. The Heavenly Court Session. Revoking contracts and breaking ties. This is the legal part of your deliverance. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and imagine yourself standing before a divine court. Breathe deeply and speak aloud as though presenting a petition to the great judge. I stand before the throne of grace. I confess and ask forgiveness for every door I've opened to the enemy through fear, unforgiveness, hidden sin, and unclean alliances. Now, by the authority granted to me, I renounce and revoke any and all legal ground the enemy has over my life, my soul, my body, and my spirit. I break and undo every soul tie with people from my past. I take back every piece of my soul and return what does not belong to me, cleansed and purified. I cancel every curse, every spell, every astral projection sent against me. I declare all contracts with darkness, conscious or unconscious, void and ineffective. The case is closed, the debt is paid. Step 4. The activation of the armor of light and commissioning the angels now, active protection. Visualize a white, blinding light, like the sun's brilliance, descending directly from heaven and entering through the top of your head. Feel this light filling every cell of your body, expelling all darkness, anxiety, and illness. See this light expand and form an impenetrable sphere around you, a divine energy armor. Then command, I now clothe myself with God's armor. I activate my shield of faith to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. I now commission the warrior angels of the Lord, the army of the Most High, to guard the four corners of my room, above and below. Let them form an impenetrable wall of fire. Let any spirit approaching with malicious intent be immediately intercepted and sent to divine judgment. I sleep, but my heavenly army watches. I rest in absolute peace, for the Lord of hosts guards me. The revelation has been released. The weapons have been delivered. Ignorance, which was the enemy's natural habitat, has been annihilated by the light of knowledge. Now, the responsibility for the peace of your nights is yours. You are no longer a helpless target. You are a walking fortress, a sovereign territory of the kingdom of light. Witchcraft, astral projection, night spirits, they all operate based on bluff and intimidation. They seem powerful only when you don't know your own power. Today, you've been reminded of your authority. You are a legislator in the spirit, an ambassador with divine diplomatic immunity. Embrace this identity. Stand up from the position of victim. Wear your armor with discipline every night. Seal your territory. You are the governor of your atmosphere. From today, you no longer pray for help. You command divine order to manifest. Now, seal all of this with a final decree. Repeat after me, aloud or in your heart. but with every conviction of your being. I decree now, in the name of the sovereign authority that lives within me, the end of all nightly wars against me. My nights are mine. My peace is non-negotiable. My dreams are holy ground, visited only by the Spirit of God. Every altar speaking my name in the darkness, be silenced now by fire. Every astral projection sent against me, return to its sender without effect. Every portal that has been opened, I seal it permanently. I'm invisible to the enemy's radar and a beacon of light for the kingdom of heaven. The war is over. The victory is secured. It is done. If this message resonated deeply in your soul and activated your warrior spirit, leave your like so this flame spreads. Share this video. It may be the answer to someone's silent prayer who is suffering in silence. And comment below as a final seal of your new identity. My territory is sealed. If you want to continue on this journey of spiritual empowerment and deepening, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your deliverance is not an event, it's a lifestyle. I bid you farewell in the peace that surpasses all understanding. May your fortress remain unshaken and your nights be filled with divine rest. Until our next encounter.